Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again. Lose again, lose again, lose again, lose again, lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Back at it like a crack addicts. And hey, yo, so today, man, we're gonna get into a story about Don Lemon going along with his little coat into a church. And I think Minneapolis, these people are getting out of control, man. They're getting out of control. They're agitators. They're paid actors that are going out here really. They're not acting now. They're really going out here trying to cause harm to ICE and federal agents. They're actually trying to, cause chaos in the streets. To all this to make it look and appear as though Donald Trump isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing as a president. At the end of the day, bro, they're just mad because he's exposing all the fraud, waste, and abuse that's going on within the government. And this goes on both sides, Democrat and Republican, which means in Democrat and Republican states this is going on. But more in these Democrat sanctuary cities and these Democratic states, man. It's getting out of control. Seriously, America is under attack. And everything that Donald Trump has said thus far is, I feel as though is true, because he's talked about the enemy within, right? We know that to be true, and we're going to get into a story with Maxwell on that when he talks about the Democrats and how they are enemies of America, bro. Seriously. I'm not going to say every single one of them. There are some good Democrats. There are some bad ones. There are some good Republicans. There are some bad ones. That's the government for you. But more importantly, there is too much fraud going on within inside of the government, and it needs to change. Donald Trump is trying to change that, and they want to make it seem as if though Donald Trump is hurting America. He's causing all of these high prices when they were already high under Joe Biden. They were actually higher under Joe Biden because he's the one that caused all of the economic problems that we are having is because of Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. That's a fact. But anyway, we'll get into that later in the video. But we're going to tap in with George, talk about this whole Don Lemon situation. We're going to play a clip from Don Lemon going into the church. I wouldn't say he's actually interviewing. He's actually bombarding himself onto this preacher at this church. And then George going to break down this whole thing and how he can possibly be charged in doing what he did. And now he's trying to play dumb. Then the next story after that, we're going to get into with mr.tendernism going viral all over the internet for the meat falling off of the bone. Keith Lee came in there and checked out the spot, gave it a solid review, and wanted to leave a tip for mr.tendernism. And then all of this stuff just started coming out about how he really isn't the owner of this restaurant, and how this owner is trademarking trademarking tendernism, and just doing grimy shit to this older gentleman everybody on the internet is calling Unc. And it's just crazy, man. But we'll get into that, and then we're going to end it with Maxwell, of course. So without further ado, let's get into it.
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable.
Hold up. Oh, shit.
My flock. Okay, but listen, we live in there's a
My bad. I made a mistake and did that. My bad. Let's go back. My bad.
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. But there were folks who will say, I have to take care of my flock. Okay, but listen, we live in there's a Constitution and the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest. Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here. Yes. Okay.
Yo, look how close he is to this dude talking about please don't touch me. Dude, you're like breathing on this man's mustache. Like
that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Do you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We know that's a lie. We know Don Lemon is not a Christian. He is satanic. He is demonic. And this is a fact. Not by what he says, by what he does. And we not going to get in. We ain't going to go down that rabbit hole, but we know he does not follow Christianity whatsoever. Like people, they try to change the narrative. They try to change the rules. They try to change what the scripture says. They wanted to fit this new age of demonic behavior that's going on with inside of America right now, and they want to change the word to fit their lifestyles. Let's just say that, and we know that goes against everything. That's every religion. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into this with George on Don Lemonhead.
The actual person who is in charge of the organization and whose idea it was to have the protests at the church before you start blaming me for stuff for which you have no idea.
The people who did this made a big, big mistake. This
is a loser. A disgusting human being and a coward. And he's now realizing that he got himself into some deep legal trouble. As everyone knows by now, Don Lemon led a group of radical left nut jobs to storm a church in Minneapolis and intimidate a congregation that they said were pro-ICE.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation.
These people are willing to pull up anywhere to anybody and disrupt business if they support a particular group of people. So we already know that they're pulling up anywhere because of people that support Donald Trump. You know, just look at these people, bro. Just look at them speak. Look how they act. They have people, and the thing is, this is not authentic. This is not people who truly feel the way that they're portraying. These are paid people. We already have the evidence proving that. I would say 95% of these people are paid for. They're a part of organizations who are funded. They get money from guys such as George Soros, you know, and yeah, this is not authentic, bro. These people truly don't care about anything that's going on right now. They could care less. They just know that they're getting paid to go out here and do the things that they're doing. This is why they need to be held accountable and they need to be charged, because if not, bro, these Democrats and these leftist radical, what Trump called them, radical left lunatics, are going to continue to do the things that they're doing, which is ruining America. That's a fact.
Up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there, and then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now.
They pointed cameras at church members, doxed them, screamed at their face, violated multiple federal laws.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people? Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters? You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit?
And the Assistant U.S. Attorney General, Harmeet.
Yo, just think, people woke up like, yeah, you know, I'm about to go to church, you know, just a regular routine. They did not know that these lunatics was going to come in here and do all of this. And listen, I may not have the same faith in what I believe in, but still, bro, that's wild, bro. You can't make this shit up.
Dillon, who handles the Civil Rights Division, announced that the DOJ was on the case to bring charges, and Don Lemon went on his live stream having a meltdown. We'll start with this video from Don Lemon, then I'll show you Harmeet Dillon on Benny Johnson's show, explaining just how much trouble Don Lemon is in.
MAGA administration and the fake news MAGAs are losing their mind over something that's not even True. So let me just make it clear, because this assistant attorney general, I don't know, gosh, what's her name? It's something Hammett.
Dude, you should memorize her name, because the Trump DOJ is under pressure from the MAGA base to do something. Because how bad would it look for the Trump administration if they do nothing about leftists storming a church, a conservative institution? They're going to be pushing to put you in prison for a long time, Don.
N.G.L.A. or whatever. So I had no affiliation to that organization. I didn't even know they were going to this church until we followed them there. We were there chronicling protests. Once the protest started in the church, we did an act of journalism, which was...
So now it's, I didn't even know they were planning that. Well, good thing the internet exists. Don Lemon admitted his intent before storming the church. He knew exactly what the group was going to do. This will be evidence in the courtroom.
Into Minneapolis.
He definitely knew.
A little bit ago, and did some reconnaissance on the ground, speaking to an organization there that's gearing up to for resistance and protest.
Gearing up for resistance and protest. Resistance against what? Against what, bruh? Against ICE? ICE isn't even at the church. They're resisting against nothing. And just wanted, hey, bro, this dude just wants to go viral, bro. And he went viral. He definitely went viral.
I've been surprised,
Listen to what he says
pleasantly
right here,
surprised
though.
to
This
see
is
the community
interesting.
coming together. Diverse community. If you see this, when we first pulled up, we were like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we were like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are...
So look, you heard what he said. It's kind of like, he says it was MAGA coded. And he said that because, number one, it's white folks there, right? It's white folks, but he's seen the American flag. He pointed out the American flag made him feel as though that this was a MAGA, MAGA people. Bro, these people, they hate this country. I mean, what else do people have to see? Like what do you have to see? Joe Biden let in 20 million illegal immigrants inside of the country now, knowing that Donald Trump would have to deal with this if he became president, which he did. And now he has to deal with this. Not only does he have to get these people out of the country, as many as possible, right? We're talking about so much resources being wasted on this. And it should have never happened in the first place, period. What country would allow so many people to just come here, bro? Like millions? I could see, some happened in the country, and this country took a few thousand, this country took a few, 100,000 or something like that. But to take 20 million illegal immigrants and bring them into the country is unsustainable. Like, you can't sustain it. How? Like, we can barely, bro. The way they make these laws and legislation and all of this stuff, you can't even take care of your own. How are you going to take care of 20 million illegal immigrants? So this is justified what Trump is doing as far as getting rid of these people. And it's just hilarious that they don't think that we can literally Google right now, Obama administration deportation, and there's going to be a bunch of stories and videos of Barack Obama deporting mass amounts of illegal immigrants, and they cheered him on, and it was the best thing since sliced bread when Obama did it. Now Trump is doing it. It's a problem. The only thing Trump is doing that is, you know, he's actually doing a lot of things that's drastically different than Democrat presidents. But the one thing that stands out is the fraud that he's exposing within inside of the government. Everybody knows this is happening. They've been knew it was happening. It's not like nothing that's, oh my God, but he's actually exposing it. So what do people need to see? What do they need to hear? What receipts do you need to see to understand that your government failed you? They failed you. And not only that, bro, to see the amounts of money that they were giving these illegal immigrants that were coming here. They were giving these people driver's license. They didn't have to go take the test. They didn't have to, pay a fee. They didn't have to go sit sit at the fucking DMV. They just gave them a license. They gave these people CDLs. They gave these people SBA loans, bro, to start businesses here in America. But yet US born citizens don't get the luxuries that these illegal immigrants was afforded. And I don't even blame them, because if I was one, I would have did the same thing. I would have did the same thing. But I have people hitting my phone, literally. I got somebody that sending me videos trying to convince me that the Democrats are the ones that's going to save the country when they're literally ruining it. And I don't. He's like, I'm sending them videos, like legit videos that are backed by like credible sources, bro. And this guy, they're just brainwashed, bro. Like these people are they're programmed, bro. MK Ultra to the mid-ax. My
Resistance
bad. Let's get back
protesters. They're
into it.
planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up. And it's Takima Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account.
So he's acting like he doesn't know these people. He didn't know that this was going to happen. He just showed up, and he happened to have a camera, and they happened to storm a church and do this nut shit that they did.
And so that's what we're doing here. And then after we do this operation, you'll see it live. And these operations are surprise operations. Again, can't tell you where they're going.
Or literally.
So look, he literally is saying, he said, after this, we have some surprise operations, but I can't tell you where they're going. So he knows where they're going, but he can't tell you where they're going because it's a surprise and they need to pull up.
Watching this guy dig himself a hole. Oh, I didn't know they were planning a protest. Him outside, yeah, they're about to storm. I can't tell you the whole plan because that would jeopardize the mission, but it's called Operation Pull Up. So he's saying what he did was an act of journalism. That disproves that.
Which was report on it and talk to the people who were involved, which included the pastor, members of the church, and members of the organization. That's it. It's called journalism. First Amendment, all that stuff. For all of you people who believe in the First Amendment, absolutist, there you go. So,
active journalism. Why aren't people like Don Lemon doing real journalism about the Hillary Clinton emails and how Obama was alleged to be on the Epstein Island and they actually got a picture of him actually on the beach? Like why aren't he doing these stories on these people? Because it's not about the truth. It's about just trying to make Donald Trump look bad, and that's it.
Why don't you talk to the actual person who is in charge of the organization and whose idea it was to have the protests at the church before you start blaming me for stuff for which you have no idea. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So this is a pretty long one from Harmeet Dillon and Benny Johnson. She's going to explain how much trouble Don Lemon and those nut jobs are in.
Anyway, man, I want to move on from this. Yo, shout out to George, man, breaking it down. If you want to, so he's gonna break down, basically how, he violated the Ku Klux Klan Act, and it was another one that he, what's it called? The Face Act, I think. But anyway, he's possibly gonna be charged in this situation. Hopefully, to be honest with you, bro, because people like them need to be held to account so they can stop doing this nut shit. It's all, freedom of speech is all good, but when people is out here like vandalizing, looting, burning shit down, it turns into, it's no longer just freedom of speech and freedom of expression. But anyway, Benny Johnson had an interview with the assistant AG, and she was breaking down everything as far as like what how he violated people's civil rights that were in the church, and how she's going after Don Lemon and these people that were there. So Don Lemon might as well keep his head on the swivel and go get a lawyer. Might as well go do that right now, my guy. But anyway, let's get into this next story about Mr.Tendernism.
That's what we do down here. We smoke meat. Y'all know who behind the camera. They've been behind it for 6 years. I ain't got to talk about it no more. But you see this here? This is genuine brisket.
Genuine.
You don't need no teeth. This tendernism. What I'm talking about, destination one in the nation. I got a fact. I make you do the Gene Chandler. But anyhow, right here at Destination, come get it.
Now, look at that. Look at that. And watch this. Come on. Even the vibrance of the color there. And the flavor is insane. Where it's like...
Destination. One in the nation. Come get it.
So the white guy from Destination...
Yeah. he tried to take over.
Smokehouse has now trademarked the word tenderism.
That's crazy, bro.
Ensuring by doing this that Unc can go out on his own and use that word, you know, when he does his briskets and stuff. So Unc can't go on his own and say, this is tenderism, because this guy has trademarked it. Pretty smart on his part, but I think it's going to backfire on him because no one wants to see him on camera.
No, that's not smart on his part. That's straight up grimy. It's shady,
grimy
very,
as shit,
very
bro.
janky. Tendernism wasn't even...
But it ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. And it's stuff like this that keeps, you know, the racism conversation going and stuff like that. And it's understandable because you have guys like this who is a fucking sleazeball. You know, he know what he doing. You know, he looking at it like, all right, well, I need to capitalize off of this. And he could have made out way better, but... Greed, bro.
His name.
Greed.
Mr. Tendernism is Mr. Walt Johnson, not
crazy.
this other guy. So no, that's not smart. That's thievery, no integrity. And I really want to know, where is Mr. Tendernism right now? Where is his family? If you're related to Mr. Walt Johnson, I need you to hit me up, because now we're hearing from all these other people at the restaurant, but we haven't heard from Unc. And the one time we did hear from him, the owner and security and other employees were all breathing down his neck. So where is his family? That's who I want to hear from. If you're the family or you know the family, hit me up.
He has been forcing himself on camera. He is doing everything that he can to put himself into our faces and keep giving Unc less and less screen time, because he saw like, hey, this is pretty cool. Everyone loves him, but it's my business, and I want to be the face of it.
But everybody loves Mr. Tendernism. Everybody clicks on to see Mr. Tendernism and how he be reacting and throwing his motherfucking glasses and shit like that because the shit's so good. Everybody click on it for that. Nobody clicked on it to see your fucking Miss Piggy looking ass. These people crazy, bro. And it's grimy because he could have made out so much more better financially by letting him do it, his thing, and supporting him and being like, yo, listen, man, I built this, with his help. And he came out and said that, I don't know if they're business partners, but he said that they were partners, right? And he said that, like, he tried to make it seem as though, like, they were partners in this business. I don't know how true that is, but I believe that he owns the business. Just works there as a cook or something, because he said he said that Unc was the reason why he does barbecue. Right? I guess he didn't do barbecue, and that's the reason why he does barbecue is because of Unc, and Unc does the smoke pits and all of that stuff. So, now this guy sees Unc going viral off of being him. That's what I understand. He's not going viral because the food. He's going viral because of the animation of, the shit falling off the bone and all of that. It's the theatrics in it. People like it. It's funny. It's entertaining. And people like, it's a good laugh for, you're like, damn. And it makes people want to go check out the business. Like, damn, I got to check this out. And so when Keith Lee went there and to the restaurant and did a review, he gave a solid review. He was honest, and because that's what he does. And this guy, man, this guy just a fucking sleaze bag, bro. It's crazy.
I want everyone to love me the same and find me as interesting, as fun, as enjoyable to watch as they do Unc, because it's my business. But you're not. I'm sorry, you are not. You should have just played your part. Mm-hmm. Sat back, let Unc shine, and take this thing to the moon.
Yeah.
No one's gonna do that with you. Jordan's not coming there to throw glasses with you like he did with Unc. Celebrities that were there to hang out, have a good time, they're not going to do that with you. And you are going to cost yourself your business.
Because it's going to be fake, and it's not going to be authentic. People came there to shoot. It's content. People came there to shoot content with Unc. That's why they came there. They came there to shoot content and to try the food out. But mainly to do content with Unc, because he made good content. And now this guy's trying to get on camera and dance. He's like a clown, bro. So it's not gonna look authentic at
Because
all.
you got jealous of an old man who made you famous.
That's a
You
fact.
know, he's a very old man, and he probably doesn't have all that many good years left. Why couldn't you just have sat back and let this man live out the rest of his life in this newfound joy that he's got with this tenderism and making these cool, fun videos? Why you couldn't do that?
Greed.
And then when he passes one day, which, that's sadly what happens when we get very old, then you could maybe, hey, we all miss him, and I'm gonna be here to try to fill his shoes. I know I can't, but I'm gonna try. That's what you should have done.
Yeah.
That's how you should have handled this, and it would have gotten you a lot more respect and a lot more love. You should have done a mural to him, built a little statue. You would have just kept rising, but nah, you showed your colors, my guy. You showed that you were jealous and that you were a hater, straight up hater.
And you know what?
Straight up
That's
hater,
all
dog.
he really had to do. Keith Lee coming there didn't expose them. What exposed this restaurant was their reaction to Keith Lee only trying to show love to Unc. They couldn't stand the idea of Keith Lee giving that tip to Mr. Tendernism. They all got upset over it. The owner and the other employees. It's like they backed Mr. Tendernism into a corner. He got caught in the middle of all this mess. And you can tell he wanted to make things right with Keith Lee personally because Keith Lee didn't do anything to him. It was the owner of the restaurant and the rest of the staff that had a problem. They're the ones that blocked Keith Lee's access to him. That's what happened. So he wanted to let Keith Lee know that he didn't have a problem with them, but at the same time, he was trying to stay loyal to the owner and his co-workers, who obviously had a problem and even voiced it.
How are you going to tip a business owner? Tip the whole staff.
I think I want to give this to Walter.
First of all, nigga, who is you to tell me who the fuck I'm gonna tip? Like, bro, what?
Okay. He specifically said his name to ask me a couple of questions. To ask him a couple of questions, I meant to say. That's how he presented it. He didn't say, hey, I want to give y'all this, and in the meantime, can I talk to Walter and Nick or whatever? He literally asked for him only and said he want to give him that amount of money.
Even Reynaldo or Butcher Bill or someone that's visible, Walter French, anybody else, it would have felt like it was coming from a place that we would have accepted, but tenderism.
Bruh. What? Yo, you can't make this shit up.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. He doesn't need money, okay? He's well suited. He has a salary. He doesn't need your money, okay? He's perfect right here. Leave him alone.
Tenderism. You want the $5,000?
No, he doesn't need $5,000. Okay, he's perfect. You are programmed to do what?
Tenderism.
Exactly. Okay, he doesn't need your money, okay?
But you're using him though.
I'm not using him. He loves it here. Don't you love it here?
That white man trademarking tenderism.
That's a fact.
He's going to hell.
That's a fact, and we're gonna end it on that. Cause this dude going to hell, bro. He going to hell, man. Like, yo, bro, you can't make this shit up, bro. Like, bro, you could have literally rolled this joint out, let him shine. Cause, like, are you stupid? He gotta be dumb. No, it's just greed. That's all it is. It's greed, bro. Greed make people do crazy shit. And this is crazy. Cause it's no way that you didn't think to yourself, well, Uncle is funny, You see him around you, he works there. You know his characters, he's funny, obviously, because he went viral for being funny with the videos, with the tenderism. He literally made that word famous. What he should do is make a new word and everybody blow that shit up. And he should open up a little nice little smoke pit, little joint, and do his own thing, man. Have his own little cook or something and rock out, man, and do his own thing. And make tenderism trash. Make that word whack. So you just went and spent $5,000 trademarking it for nothing. That's what I would do, man. That's how we need to support Mr. Tendernism. You know what I mean? But I don't see we'll see what comes of it, but allegedly they're saying the business owner fired them, and he said he posted a video. Maybe I'll get into this more tomorrow about that situation, but if you want to check out and get updated on that whole situation, you can go to Pink Book Lessons on YouTube and subscribe also and go check her joint out. And she has all the details on that. But I wanted to get into this next joint with Brian Maxwell on the one and only.
2008, something unbelievable happened for us in the FBI. We were getting lots of rumors about this high-level asset that worked for several intelligence agencies at the same time. He worked for the Saudi intelligence service. He worked for the CIA, and he was being developed as a political asset in Chicago, Illinois.
All right, Patriots. Well, the bottom is falling out. And, you know, a lot of times when I post videos on the channel about things that the Democrats have done, being anti-America, these violent protests and things like that, in the comment section, there's a lot of people that say, you know, why isn't anything happening? Or nothing's going to happen just like it never does, and yada, yada. And I would get annoyed by that because I'm like, hey, listen, if nothing's going to happen, we don't need the negative energy adding to it. Because, you know, taking Maduro out of his home on a Venezuelan military base in 3 minutes, we would have been told that was impossible and would never happen until it was done. There's never been a Trump second administration, and there's never been an administration put together like this that are all on the same accord, and that is to beat the Democrats back and put America on the right track. There's usually always some type of control that the other part that people have over whoever's the commander-in-chief or secretary of defense or the treasury. There's always somebody that's like a puppet master. And I'm not saying it's not totally with this group, but as of right now, the things that they're doing, which is unpopular to the left, means that it's working for the right and for America. Now, in this video, y'all, we knew that Obama and Hillary Clinton was into some shady stuff. We just never had proof. Well, in this video, you are going to hear from the direct CIA asset that worked in the Obama administration, worked with the FBI in operations again with Hillary Clinton, is going to reveal who these two people really are and what type of things they were caught up in and why we never see a Democrat get prosecuted for the last, I'd say 15 or 17 years. For the last 15 years, for sure, the deep state has been in full effect, and there's a reason for it. So I'm going to let you listen to this Brett Baier piece as he speaks about Obama's former lawyer who just had to testify before the Senate committee. And when you hear what bombshell she dropped, and then I'm going to back it up with nothing but facts and witness testimony, not from news reports, but directly from the horses' mouths who participated in these things.
About what the Obama Justice Department ordered federal lawyers to do and not to do concerning the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge tells us in sworn testimony on Capitol Hill, one of the insiders told lawmakers what she was told.
During closed-door testimony last summer, former FBI lawyer Lisa Page said the Obama administration's Justice Department advised the FBI not to pursue the gross negligence statute for Hillary Clinton in the mishandling of classified information. Former U.S. Attorney and House Republican John Ratcliffe led the line of questioning about the statute, known as 18 U.S.C. 793. Ratcliffe, you're making it sound like it was the department that told you you're not going to charge gross negligence because we're the prosecutors. Page interrupted. That is correct. Page's testimony appears to conflict with then FBI Director James Comey's recommendation in July 2016 against criminal charges for Clinton.
What I can assure the American people is that this investigation was done honestly, competently, and independently. No outside influence of any kind was brought to bear.
The Republican-led House Oversight and Judiciary Committee investigation ended in January. With Democrats now in control, the committee's new ranking Republican made the Page transcript public.
The transcript releases show an inherent two-tier system, one in which Hillary Clinton gets the treatment that she got, where there was actually at first concern that they were going to charge her, and then with Loretta Lynch in charge, before she recused herself, made it very clear that that was not going to happen.
The tip-off came from a chart drawn up by federal investigators assigned to the Clinton case known as mid-year exam. Fox News has confirmed that the chart listed possible federal statutes for prosecution. Next to gross negligence was a notation, quote, DOJ not willing to charge this. Only known cases are military. Cases when accused lost the information. In response to the Page revelations, the president...
And what people forget, too, is that if Donald Trump wanted to, when he became the president, he could have went after Hillary Clinton himself. But he chose not to because he had some sort of integrity as far as being a president and her being the former president's wife. And look what they turned around and did to him. So now they want to act like this is vengeance, even though I wouldn't mind it. At the end of the day, and is all of this information is coming out and it's not shocking, to be honest with you. It's not. Nobody is shocked about none of
Treated,
this
the
that's going on.
transcripts, quote, make the Obama Justice Department look exactly like it was, a broken and corrupt machine. The Page transcript also confirms Fox's earlier reporting. The Page testified Russia collusion was still unproven when Special Counsel Robert Mueller was appointed. Brett?
Captain, thank you.
So, as you heard right there, Lisa Page came out and she testified that she was ordered not to prosecute Hillary Clinton, and she worked directly for the White House. So now we know that it was bigger than just James Comey. He was directly ordered. Now, there's a reason why Obama did not want her prosecuted. And you're going to hear in this video when you hear from billionaire CEO Patrick Byrne. Patrick Byrne was a CIA asset. Patrick Byrne worked directly for Obama with John Brennan, with James Clapper, with the FBI. Was there Biden would be involved. So the information he's going to share is jaw-dropping. Now, Lisa Page, who is she? How did she get caught up in scandal? And as you can see right here, has Lisa Page inherited the mantle from Monica Lewinsky. Now, I'm going to take it down here so you know who she was. Now, here's Lisa Page, former FBI attorney, right? Now, this is all talking about her just with Monica Lewinsky because Lisa Page was having an affair with Peter Strzok. Now, Page was a senior, I'm right here. Page was a senior attorney at the FBI and a married mother of two who was having an extramarital affair with the FBI Deputy Assistant Director, Peter Strzok, also married, while both were investigating possible Russian interference in the 2016 election. A focus of the investigation was allegations that members of the Trump presidential campaign had coordinated with the Russian government. Page filed a federal lawsuit this week alleging the FBI violated her privacy when it released 375 text messages between her and Strzok to the press, among other things. The text showed Page bemoaning the prospect of a Trump presidency, declaring her support for Trump's Democratic rival, Hillary Clinton, and calling Trump loathsome, an idiot, and a douche. So prior to the 2016 election, Lisa Page was working with Peter Strzok, the assistant deputy director of the FBI, on a Russia collusion case, which we now know to be completely fake, right? And during that time, they decided to have an affair. Well, she was hauled in by the Trump administration. It has 100%, what word am I looking for? Validated the fact that the Obama administration, Barack Obama and his administration, ordered the DOJ not to prosecute Hillary Clinton. And
so somebody that literally was against Trump, did not like Trump, called Trump an idiot and all of this stuff, and supported Hillary Clinton, came out and admitted these things, bro.
And you're going to hear really more about what happened with that. Now, Peter Strzok, there's a little bit about him. During his FBI career, he was Deputy Assistant Director of the Counterintelligence Division and led the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 elections. He had previously been the chief of the division's counter-espionage section and led the investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a personal email server. So you got these two Clinton loyalists that are they've both been working on the Russia collusion case, which was started by the Clinton Foundation, order from Barack Obama with John Brennan, with James Clapper, with Jim Comey, right? So you see how it's tying together. So Hillary Clinton gets off, and then next thing you know, the Russia collusion lie starts to try to taint President Trump's presidency, which kind of worked because he wasn't reelected. But now we find out that even his reelection, it's been confirmed that 2.7 million votes were switched from Donald Trump during the election by Dominion. It's not a question. It's not speculation, which is why I'm not saying allegedly. Now, on the heels of that, with Lisa Page's testimony coming out today or yesterday, listen to what the president had to say about it.
Whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly.
President Donald Trump in the Oval Office, suggesting his predecessor, Barack Obama, should face criminal charges.
He's guilty.
Yo, ain't it crazy that what the things that Donald Trump been saying about Barack Obama and others have came to be true? So like all this time, like he been saying this stuff is because he's in the mix. He's in the mix with these people. He's getting firsthand information about a lot of this stuff that's going on. And when he says it, the media goes on a blitz and tries to make him seem like he's crazy and insane. This is what they did it to Ye. They do it to Candace Owens. They do it to everybody who doesn't go along with the program and the propaganda and the agenda that they got at hand. And now Obama is on the hot seat for sure. Hillary Clinton, and they just recently didn't come to um they didn't show up to this congressional hearing about Epstein. So they could be facing what is it, contempt of Congress or something like that. So yeah, man, it's a lot going on. It's a lot, but hey, man, they being exposed.
This was treason. This was every word you could think of. They tried to steal the election.
So you heard Trump say they tried to steal the election. Now we getting down into the nitty gritty because I told you. So the word it's not even a word. It has been exposed that Obama was a CIA asset. You know what they say? Once you with CIA, always CIA. And Hillary Clinton, wait till you hear about how she was set up and Obama was controlling the strings over her. If we would have had a Hillary Clinton presidency, which was the game plan, followed up by Michelle Obama presidency, Barack Obama had it set, would have had her blackmail based on what you're gonna hear from Patrick Byrne, who also was a CIA asset who worked on the case. Now we got Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell worked on the legal team for President Trump, right? During the 2020 election case. She was also the one who Fannie Willis decided to go after. And in a way to kind of ease everything, she pled to a lesser charge, a misdemeanor, so that she could be done with it because they were going to try her with the other 18 and they were facing serious prison time. And we now know that Fannie Willis was working coordinated with the White House, with the January 6th committee, with Kamala Harris's legal team, allegedly. Even though we saw the White House sign in from her special prosecutor, forget his name, who she was sleeping with, that got the whole thing derailed and we got her thrown off the case. So we know that to be true. Sidney Powell knew it to be true. Okay, so just so you know who Sidney Powell is. Now I want you to listen to Sidney Powell as she goes a little bit deeper into the Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama connection with the emails and why Hillary Clinton faced no prosecution. And then right after this, I've got the Patrick Byrne that you've been waiting on, because what he's going to expose on Obama and Hillary will validate what you felt the whole time, but no longer speculation. We have hardcore facts. So check this out.
Very clear violations of the Espionage Act and really no issue about intent, despite President Obama proclaiming otherwise. And of course, you realize the reason that Hillary had to be protected was because he was writing her on that secret server using an alias, which shows that he damn well knew and had approved in advance her use of the secret unsecured server.
On the heels of all of the stuff that's taking place in the country.
Yes, I wrote an article about that too. 675,000 Clinton emails when they got Anthony Weiner's laptop in a search warrant because of all his sex perversion issues. It was all the Clinton emails, the Clinton Foundation, her Secretary of State emails, Huma Abedin's emails. Lots of people emailed Huma as a proxy for Hillary, and it included what Comey called I must wave my hands more than most people. The golden emails, because they were the BlackBerry backup emails that they were supposedly just looking for everywhere very diligently. Well, guess what they did when they found them on the Weiner laptop? They got a search warrant for things that didn't include the BlackBerry backup emails. So when they told us, when he stood there and said that day, oh, we've reviewed all the emails now, there's nothing there, that was a bald-faced lie. They specifically did not look at the BlackBerry backups, and they didn't look at a fraction of the emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop. So one of the things, if I were the president, I'd do is demand the Anthony Weiner laptop and get it to the most trusted person in the military to take apart everything on it and then start using it. There's a lot that can be prosecuted. I have no doubt on that laptop. In fact, I heard that the New York police officers who saw some of it, even though they're hardened investigators, literally had to go throw up.
Now, I'm not sure if you're all aware of this, but did you know that based on the laptop she's talking about, right? And Anthony Weiner, who allegedly had pictures and videos of minors on the laptop. Now, I want you to listen to this FBI, this member of the FBI, and what he says, because this is where he gets into Obama. Then the next clip is where we hear about.
And people be like, oh, you be listening to this ain't facts. Oh, like, bro. You are going to hear from people that were there, firsthand knowledge of this stuff, bro. That's going on. Like, this stuff isn't Bro, this stuff is bigger than what people think, man.
Clinton, check this out.
2008.
This right here is deep, though.
Something unbelievable happened for us in the FBI. We were getting lots of rumors about this high-level asset that worked for several intelligence agencies at the same time. He worked for the Saudi Intelligence Service. He worked for the CIA, and he was being developed as a political asset in Chicago, Illinois. He was not even a United States citizen, but it was said that he was a student visa and that he was a national from another country. In 2008, everyone in the intelligence structure found out who he was. It was this individual whose name I don't like to say, who became president in 2008 of the United States.
And I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. The office of President of the United States.
One of his code names was Renegade. His real name was Barry Sortoro, but he adopted a different name for his political career. When they ran him for president, the cabal, basically, this was the culmination of so many of their plans for so many years. His mission was to destroy the United States from within, one institution at a time. One of the things he did, of course, was he defunded our military. He brought down the resources that they got. But then he ordered our military in many, many instances and in various theaters to attack our allies and to defend and supply and help our enemies. That's exactly how he created ISIS. He would say publicly that the military were going to bomb our enemies. But then he would have the military actually bomb enemies of ISIS, our allies. He gave ISIS funding and equipment by basically ordering our military to take equipment into a certain theater and then
Yo, that sound like Afghanistan, where Biden and them left billions of dollars of military equipment, bro. Bro, come on, why would you do that? That's all I be saying, bro. This stuff is bigger than what people think. You think Afghanistan, because of Israel, has been pretty much enemy number one of the United States, right? You go to this country, you're there for over a decade, and then now we're doing now we're withdrawing from Afghanistan, and you leave billions of dollars of military weapons in the hands of your enemy? Nah.
abandon it.
Nah.
And the commanders would say, that's ridiculous. We'd
Sounds familiar. Sounds like Afghanistan, don't it?
Yeah.
just be handing that stuff over to ISIS.
That's crazy.
And the president's office would say, don't question orders, just follow your orders.
So as you heard right there, he broke it down. Renegade, they had heard, the FBI had heard about this asset before, and then it all broke loose in 2008 when they find out. Check this one.
Yo, this really explains why they hate Donald Trump so much, bro. This really explains it, though, because they had this fucking decade-long plan, maybe 2 decades, a plan to ruin America brick by brick, and Donald Trump came along and ruined it for him. This explains it, because I always think in my mind, like, yo, I've never seen this much hate for. I don't even think people hate Jeffrey Epstein as much as they hate Trump. And this dude actually did crazy shit. So I'm like, why? It's always the why, bro. And now, like, when you hear these stories and whistleblowers and former FBI agents who were there, who were on the ground, who got this sensitive information is coming out now, and they're telling their story, you start realizing, you start putting the pieces to the puzzle. You know, just like with COVID, you know, Brian had a video before explaining about if you go back 5 years before when COVID happened and how Obama basically predicted it, but he didn't predict it. He knew that this would happen. He said it would happen, and we needed to plan for it.
Now, because it goes more in detail as far as with Obama, with Michelle, and with Hillary. Check this out. Matter of fact, let me let you listen to I'll play this first, now I'll get into the Patrick Byrne clip.
Barack Hussein Obama was no mere politician, but a deep state CIA asset strategically placed to erode the foundations of the United States. His entire backstory is shrouded in secrecy, with a laundry list of sealed records designed to hide his anti-American agenda, including Occidental College transcripts, Columbia records and thesis, Harvard files, selective service registration, medical history, Illinois Senate schedule, law client list, original birth certificate, certification of live birth, and even his baptism records, all locked away to conceal ties to radical influences and foreign handlers. This opacity isn't coincidence. It's a calculated cover-up for a man groomed to implement policies that weakened borders, ballooned debt, and sowed division, all while the CIA pulled the strings. President Trump's relentless pursuit of truth, including his demands for Obama's birth certificate, exposed these cracks early on, proving Trump's foresight in battling the swamp that installed such a saboteur. Adding fuel to the fire, Michelle Obama's mysterious inability to practice law raises red flags about the family's shady dealings. Rumors swirl that her license was revoked amid ethical scandals tied to Obama's covert operations, though the deep state buried the details. And why did she command an army of 22 assistants as First Lady, far exceeding the single aide allotted to predecessors like Nancy Reagan or Laura Bush? This extravagant entourage wasn't for public service. It was a taxpayer-funded network to advance their destructive agenda, from promoting divisive social policies to undermining traditional American values. Trump's America First ethos stands in stark contrast, as he slashed wasteful spending and exposed elite excesses, vowing to drain the swamp that allowed the Obamas to operate unchecked and accelerate the nation's decline. As the threads of this conspiracy...
Really think about it, though, what this clip is saying. Like, really think about it. You really think about it, right? I would say since George Bush, after George Bush, that was like George Bush was the start, and then Obama took it over and took this shit to the maximum level, bro. But these people are super corrupt. The Bushes are super corrupt too. The Clintons.
Unravel in the public eye, calls for accountability grow louder, with Trump leading the charge to investigate and prosecute those who...
Trump been saying all of this stuff all along, bro. Fake news. Obama's isn't a U.S.-born citizen. Like, so much stuff that, he's talked about Hillary, how she's a criminal. It's because, come on, bro. Donald Trump was a powerful man before he became the president. He was playing golf with the elite politicians and the upper echelon, for his whole life, pretty much. So him being privy to certain information isn't shocking.
Engineered Obama's rise. Imagine a world where his sealed records reveal direct CIA directives to stoke racial tensions, cripple the economy with socialist schemes, and invite globalist takeovers, all part of a master plan to transform America into a weakened vassal state. Trump's triumphant return is dismantling these shadows, deporting any complicit figures and restoring transparency, ensuring no future puppet like Obama can ever threaten the republic again. Follow Newsmax.baby. I'm Jonathan Gregory.
In the comments, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Is this something that you kind of had in your gut? Because if you did, this next segment is about to knock your socks off. This is what you came here for. Check out Patrick Byrne as he lays it down. I'm going to let this play in full screen too, because what he has to say is far too important to even share the screen with that. Check this out.
I bribed Hillary Clinton $18 million. I facilitated a bribe for Hillary Clinton on January 14th, 2016, right here in this town. On behalf of the FBI.
What? Yo, he said, I bribed Hillary Clinton $18 million. He said he did. Whoa. It already started off
They came
hot.
to me around December 1st, 2015. They told me Hillary Clinton had accepted a bribe from Turkey for $20 million. They told me that I would be working for a group in New York, FBI agents, who had authorization to set Hillary Clinton up in a sting. They asked me to facilitate a bribe for her, an $18 million bribe from another government. The bagman from that other government I was to befriend, and I was to get that person 10 minutes alone in a room with Hillary Clinton. I did. On January 14th, 2016, Hillary Clinton was in this town, and she met in a way that was kept off her schedule. She accepted an $18 million bribe. But General Ball knows this. This is the Durham. They know this was what is behind it all.
And I'll even tell you, I'm going to drop one more thing. I've been waiting to say this publicly, and this is what really happened. I will tell you, if you hear this and you give me 90 seconds, your viewers will understand what's happened in the last 5 years in America. I've been waiting to say this on mainstream TV, and they will not have me back because once they understood what this was about. I had Hillary Clinton. I caused Hillary Clinton. I facilitated a bribe, and she took a second bribe for $18 million. And I worked with the FBI as I did that. They're deeply involved in this. They came to me 3 days later and told me I had to forget about it and forget that it ever happened. And I said, "What are you talking about?" And they gave me one excuse. They said, Hillary's going to win, and it's been decided upstairs. Nothing's going to be able to stop that now. So she's going to win, and she's going to send her people over to the FBI and ask who was part of investigating Hillary, and any of us who were part of it are going to be destroyed, and that includes you too, Patrick. And so this mission has been scrubbed from the highest level. But 2 or 3 weeks later, I was back with 3 federal agents this time. 3 federal agents. And I let them know that wasn't sitting, and this is in Salt Lake City, Utah, and that wasn't sitting well with me. And I'd like to know why we had almost a year before the election. They could have had me and another person in front of a grand jury in a week and gotten her indicted. They told me, this is word for word, Patrick, what's really going on is this. President Obama has his people across the federal bureaucracy at this point, but especially the Department of Justice. Hillary Clinton is going to be president for 8 years, and nothing's going to change that. But think of there being a Bunsen burner within the Department of Justice. That evidence about the 2 bribes you were part of gathering is going to be sitting on the Bunsen burner. And the hand on the Bunsen burner is going to be one of Barack Obama's people. If Hillary's a good girl and defends Obamacare, that flame stays low. If she's a bad girl and thinks for herself, it's going to get turned up high.
Kind of makes you wonder if they did the same thing for Biden. Because I've always said the fact that the policies that the Bidens and that administration was pushing for, those are insane. And the only way somebody, a president or a politician will present those policies is knowing that either they had tremendous support from an apparatus that is so big that it can social engineer society, or it's political suicide. And Barack Obama has been on record saying that it would be ideal and it would be great if he could be president from a basement in his sweats and kind of operate the politician like a puppet. He
definitely said that.
And then you look at Joe Biden, who didn't have sound mind, who didn't control his own actions, didn't even control his own auto pen, as you're about to find out.
That way, Barack Obama is going to manage Hillary Clinton for the 8 years she's president, and then she's going to step down, and Michelle's going to run. And Patrick, that's the plan. That plan was called the Operation Snow Globe. That was Brendan Obama's name for it. Snow Globe, they were trying to get Hillary to step into a snow globe. I'm looking for a prop. A snow globe that anytime they wanted, they could then pick up and shake for 8 years. My bribe was the bait to get her to step into the snow globe. That's all from it. This isn't a theory. I'm the guy in the room. I'm acknowledging I took part in all this, and I thought I was helping them conduct federal law enforcement. It turned out that I was helping them set up Hillary Clinton for a deep state to control her. From Obama against
Yo, these people is vicious at that highest level, bro.
Hillary, that when Trump won in a fluke, it got morphed into the Russian collusion delusion. Whoa. The reason I mentioned that I knew in October 2018 that this was going to happen was because in 2018 I was offered, a federal agent came to tell me, Patrick, you need to understand there are billionaires walking around this world that we made, and we're prepared to do the same for you. You just have to stay calm. You just have to stay quiet through the election. And by that election, I knew he meant 2020 election. So I've known that they were going to hijack this election since October of 2018.
We gonna end it with that. God damn it, boy, oh boy. Hey, yo, these people are super corrupt. It's not crazy, to be honest with you. But yo, that was a crazy video though. That's what you call firsthand knowledge. This motherfucker was the guy who paid Hillary Clinton, who set her up in order to be the puppet master. She was going to be the puppet. The number one puppet. Shh. Yo, just think about if Trump didn't come along, where we would be right now, bro. Scary, man. Scary shit, bro. Scary shit. That's why I fuck with Trump. That's why I fuck with Trump, bro. I fuck with Trump because Trump isn't he isn't a puppet. He's not a puppet, bro. And we saw that just because I just never. That's one thing about me. I'm a person that whenever it comes to anything, it's like, yo, why are they going so hard to, you know, let's just stick on this situation, but there's been other things in my life that, pushed me away from certain things and into another thing, and I started doing more homework on it. And it's the same thing with Trump. I started out as pretty much, I guess you could say I was a Democrat. I only voted for Obama. That was the only person I ever voted for other than Trump was Obama, right? And growing up, it always was like a thing like where it's like, okay, like you see everybody that's around you, you coming from a black community, everybody that did voted Democrat. So you associated with the Democratic Party. So it was the same thing. So not too long ago in 2020, I was on the Trump is racist train, and that whole ordeal. And then Biden became president, and then shit got bad. Shit got real bad, and I didn't vote because I was in prison. But shit got real bad to the point where people that I know that including me, we never talked about politics. Never. Never talked about politics whatsoever. Shit was so bad that people started talking about politics on a regular basis. Became like a thing where everybody was pretty much talking about, Trump or, the election or politics and how things are so bad, prices are so high, and this, that, and the third. And that's what pushed everybody. It's just kind of the same thing and had pushed everybody to Trump because people started thinking like, yo, when Trump was in office, yeah, COVID happened, but that was like a fucking, the fucking lottery. You know what I mean? But other than that, Trump actually didn't do bad as a president. They knew for a fact that Joe Biden was ruining the country and was causing chaos. And that's why people said that, yo, I can't afford. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care about, a fucking Democrat or Republican. Right now in my life, I can't afford to vote for Kamala Harris because we already know what she did with Joe Biden, which was what? Ruin the country. But now, you know, first year into this 2026, first year into this election, with Donald Trump, and he's exposing so much that he already been exposing. He been saying a lot of this stuff years ago. Years ago. Matter of fact, so he questioned Obama actually being a U.S. citizen, and that was before he even ran in 2016 because Obama embarrassed him at dinner and was talking about how basically well, I'm a president, Donald Trump would never be a president, at least I could say I was a president or something like that. I forget what he said, but he embarrassed Donald Trump at this dinner. Donald Trump took it personal, and that's when he ran for president. But during all of the Donald Trump during the whole um election of the 2016 election campaign, he was exposing a lot of things slowly, but he was doing it though. Talking about fake news, that's fake news. Everybody now is saying don't trust the news, and that's because of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it's people that is because of just what they're saying, but mainly because of Donald Trump, bro. Donald Trump changed politics forever, bro. And now people are seeing that, damn, yo, Donald Trump was actually right about a lot of this stuff that's going on. And then you got guys like the guy that Brian Maxwell just showed, who was part of it. He was in it, part of it. So my whole thing is when you hear stories from like Fox or from CNN, this is like, secondhand information. They might spiced it up a little bit, whatever case it may be, right? So the story could be tainted a little bit. It might be true, it might be not. But this was from this guy who did it, who was there, who had firsthand knowledge, who was involved, telling you that Obama was the puppet master, dog. He was the puppet master. And it makes sense though. It really does. And then when you look at Joe Biden and his whole thing, you realize like, damn, he had to be uh, a puppet master for Joe Biden because of this guy being loony. He was done. He was done. He was old. It was over for him. And he did say that though. Obama did say that he wished that he could be in a basement somewhere with some pajamas on or some shit, and basically somebody got an earpiece in and him telling him what to do and whatnot. And that's probably what he was doing. But anyway, man, that was the show for today. If you fuck with the show, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Help your boy on the road to 1K subscribers. Can't do it without you. Truly do appreciate everybody that did hit that subscribe button for me. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy go live. This your boy SL550. This is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Until next time, I'm out. Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again. Lose again, lose again, lose again, lose again.